Well, welcome back to the show. Have you inherited a home and don't know what to do with it? Or perhaps you have a distressed property that isn't worth fixing up?
MarketPro Home is one of Washington's leading home buyers that can help you sell your home for cash and quickly. Joining us right now to tell us all about their service is Dan Bronstein. Welcome, Dan. Thanks for coming in.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Good. Give us a scenario of who would use your service.
I would say that most of the sellers that we work with have either inherited a property, have a rental property that's in distressed condition, may be in financial straits and behind on their payments on their house and don't want the house to go to the bank and want to sell the property, or just have too much work to do on the house and want to get out.
It's funny because when you think originally it's like, hey, someone just gave you a free house, but they don't know all the hassles that come with that. Somebody just dumps something in your because it's not a part of your life. You have your own life going on. All of a sudden this thing comes out from nowhere, and that's a responsibility, and you sometimes want to get that off your plate, and you help them out with that, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of times it's people that their parents are moving into an assisted living facility, and they want to help their mom and dad sell their property.
I like this because so many people, they don't think about when you get that house, if you're inherited it, you have to pay taxes on it every year. There's a lot of stuff in it that needs to be moved out, but you help them with that too.
Yes, we do.
Tell us about that.
We pay for packing and moving. We also pay for all the closing costs when we buy a home from someone.
Oh, so you get cash and there's no extra fees kicked in after that.
Exactly. Whatever our offer is the actual in the pocket to the seller.
Interesting. Give me a couple scenarios that you've actually dealt with recently.
Well, recently we had a gentleman that wanted to move to California. He had been in his home for about 40 years. He didn't know when he wanted to move.
But he knew he wanted to get out of the cold weather. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And his house was in pretty bad condition. So what we did is put his home under contract and gave him a window of 9 months to find a place in California. He happened to call us 2 months later and said he was ready to move. We packed him and moved him to California and paid all his closing costs.
Wow.
That sounds great.
And off he went, hassle-free. Yeah. What else?
What else? Recently we also had another situation where a gentleman was behind on his payments, and he called and said he didn't want the bank to get the house. And we were able to pay off his first and second mortgage and pay his closing costs and buy the home for cash.
Now, this is an alternative to getting a real estate agent, right? Because they save a little money, right?
Right. There's no real estate commissions involved, so you don't have to put your house on the market. You don't have to go through that process of having open houses and negotiating prices and worrying about a new buyer getting financing, etc. It's a cash transaction, and we can close on the seller's timeline.
And usually it's, like you said, unique situations that they're in. That's who you pretty much deal with. Because sometimes if they have time to sell their home, of course you gave that guy 9 months and he got it out in 2. So
Right. And most of the time we're buying homes that are in poor condition or homes that are just dated, that people have been there for 30 or 40 years and they haven't done updates to the kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. And they would rather go with MarketPro Homes as a cash buyer.
And you are buying these as is. I cannot say how wonderful that is. When I was single, I sold my condo and I was in my 20s. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't ask for an as-is sale, so I had to go and do fixes after I sold it. And it was such a headache as somebody who didn't know what she was doing.
Exactly. Those repairs can be expensive, and there's no repairs that have to be done when we put a house under contract.
Yeah, I think it's good for both. I mean, obviously realtors have their thing and your unique situations that you deal with, and I've never heard of these, to be honest with you, and I think it's brilliant, just a no-hassle way with those unique situations.
Thanks.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you so much for bringing that into us. That's brilliant. All right, by the way, and to get more information on how to sell your home with MarketPro, head on over to their website. It is www.mphbuyshomes.com.
Or you can call their number at 301-433-SALE. That's 301-433-7355 and start the process today. And coming up, it's Wealth